Got another part we're going to install on the WRX, the Perrin steering damper lockout. This is what's called our lockdown. It's part number, pretty tiny little part. It looks bigger in all the pictures. I was on the fence about doing this, but local offer up, somebody had it brand new. I mean, I had actually pulled the instructions out, so it was all brand new in the box for 50 bucks. And I figured, hey, it's about half of what it costs, and go pick it up and give it a shot. So I already got the car jacked up. I think it's gonna be a combination of under the car and loosening up one of the bolts on the U-joint where the damper is to give it some slack to put these in. So it's hot, it's about 110 outside, so I'm gonna be doing this pretty slow. I think I'm first gonna loosen up the two 12mm bolts on the car itself. Instructions show it. Get to one of them through the top, and then the other one is on the bottom side. This thing is tiny in real life. It's crazy how small this stuff is on this car. But yeah, we'll go ahead and loosen it up to 2 turns on each one of these 12 mils. And then probably take a break and start running this guy in. I'm gonna run some silicone lubricant on either side of this to help slide it in there, because I know I've seen some folks that have issues. That could just be because they're not loosening this, but I'm gonna do both just so I'm not forcing it in. Here's where having it up on jack stands or any kind of other thing that allows your wheels to turn freely helps. With the electric steering, all you gotta do is press the ignition button once and wheels turn super freely. Let's see if we can find it. Just way down in there. Let's see if I can focus in. Right there. There's a white label and a 12mm bolt. That's the bolt we gotta loosen up. So we'll get that guy loosened. It's about how much I have the wheels rotated to get to it. And then we'll get the other guy from the bottom. It says 2 full turns to loosen. Okay, so getting it from the top may not be the best bet. I kept running into the brake booster and whatnot. So sorry for all the motion sickness here, but there it is from under the car. Way more accessible. You're just gonna need a pretty decent ratchet extension. I've probably got like, probably 16 inches of extension right now to get to that bad boy. But yeah, from the bottom's a lot easier. Okay, actually, well, I had it positioned for the upper side. You can get to the lower side. Here's your, I can't remember what the hell this lower ball joint mount thing's called, but anyway, lower arm, lower control arm, maybe? Anyway, for your suspension, but here it is right there. So again, 2 turns. I just came in through the wheel well. It's kind of hard to see. Here's your wheel well. 2 turns, we're all loose, so right up above it, you can see where we're gonna start putting the lockout or locker or whatever they want to call it in there. We'll straighten the wheel back up and then yeah, start sliding it in. Hopefully it'll go pretty well. So looking at the instructions, it looks like the bolt from the underside needs to be facing 180 degrees away from you. So I need to turn the steering wheel so I'm seeing the bolt back in the engine bay again. And that should get us lined up appropriately to put the pieces in. I believe they're marked for right and left. Barely see it there. This is the left side, threaded side, driver's side. So get the longest bolt in the kit. Again, I'm gonna throw some silicone lube, at least on the back side. Probably a little bit in here. I want to avoid getting in the threads because you're gonna end up Loctiting it, so I'll probably just dab it on these edges. Yeah, so I'll rotate the steering wheel so we can see the nut or bolt head through here and start putting this guy in. All right, so sliding back and forth. I'll tell you what, quick jacks would be great. Let's see if I can get it in frame. Let's see, where the heck is it? There we go. Get the light up here. So there it is. I got the wheels pretty much straight is where I ended up having to be. Silicone lube seemed to help. I've got it started with a long bolt, one with the L's this way, which is threaded. Unthreaded side is the R on this side. And we'll just keep going, tighten her down, and then we'll Loctite it. well, tighten it all the way till those points are pretty much touching each other, and then we'll Loctite her up, and I think we'll be done. Well, we'll have to tighten those 12s again too, so the steering doesn't loosen up when you're driving, but not so bad so far. Shouldn't say that though. All right, so we got it all torqued down. 10 foot-pounds is the number, but I probably tightened it tighter with a wrench. It's hard to see. Let me see if I can get the light up in here so where it works. And of course, it's not going to be friendly. I'll try to get the camera up here a little bit better. Found the starter. No, where is it? Sorry, it's a pain to try to. There it is. Okay. So got everything tightened down. The long bolt, I found you could get it close to. I would say you get about 3/4 of the way, and then you got to finish it with a short bolt. It tilted a little bit, and then it kind of snapped into place. I think what happened was the side with the bolt kind of pitched itself a little bit. Let's see if I can get to focus here. But anyway, it maneuvered itself in. You got to get that thing lubed and just take your time. I think Perrin says it's a 30-minute job. It's an hour and a half probably if you take your time. So anyway, that's in. It's torqued. It's Loctited. Now we just got to tighten these guys up. I think it's 17.4 foot-pounds. And we'll be done. So not the easiest, not the hardest. While you're under here, we do have an AOS, an IGA specific, yeah, an IGA specifically. You can see the routing, so I thought that was interesting. You can see the intercooler pipe there. You can see all the hoses for my AOS there. It's kind of an interesting confirmation of your routing. So I thought that was kind of neat. Let me get a video of this since I'm in here. See if I can get my hand out of the frickin' way. There we go. Some light hose routing. You can actually see the bottom of the AOS right there. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. There it is. Oh, there's the PCV interface right there. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, we're gonna tighten up those steering linkage assembly, whatnot. All right, so I think we're all done. Last steps. Got a Loctite in the middle of my instructions. So we tighten the bolts too, roughly. The bolt being the lockouts, lockdowns to roughly 10 foot-pounds. Again, I probably tightened it more with my 1/4-inch drive, and then just ran it to 10 to make sure you got plenty of Loctite on there. Again, I ran it with a big bolt. It did not run all the way closed like in the picture with the longer bolt. It actually, the threads, let me find a place to set this down, but the threads ended up bottoming out before it closed all the way up. So I ran the final bolt in and got it all the way tightened down. Had to back it out, put it in a couple times. I think you can kind of see, let's see if there's anything on the back of this. You can kind of see in the picture where you round here. And I think what that causes is this guy, what happened was it tilted back a little bit. So I just had to give it a couple of goes. I think somewhere in here, this guy got hung up and then popped free. I swore I popped the threads in there for a second. I got kind of freaked out, but luckily that didn't kill the threads. And then I finally got this guy flat, like in the picture. Got the shorter bolt in, Loctite tightened. Let's see, and then it tells you to unlock steering wheel, rotate it half turn right and left and right. Tighten the 12 mils down to 17.4 foot-pounds. And then it says just check it out. Every once in a while, I seriously doubt that's coming loose. Probably shouldn't have said that. Good old Murphy. I'll just see if you can see it from in here. Not very well. Brake booster's kind of in the way. But yeah, you can kind of see it right there. Let me go get a flashlight, but I'd put it aside 3 hours. Maybe others will have less of a problem. for, I didn't even think I had a problem, but maybe others will have an easier time with it. For me, it took the better part of 3 hours. Darn, you can't barely, there it is. Let's see if I can get to focus. Get some light around the intercooler, somewhere get some light. It's hard to get the right light down there. But anyway, you get the idea. Yeah, it's hard to see it amongst other things. There it is. Anyway, not too bad. We'll see if it actually makes a difference, but like I said, I got it reasonably cheap local, so figure what the heck. You just gotta be patient, take your time. I think loosening the top and the bottom of that joint is a must. I think it allows enough play in there, so those things can wedge themselves in. I think without that, I probably would have damaged something or snapped the bolt. Anyway, if you can buy that part cheap, it may be worth tightening up your steering a little bit.